So my first week as self-employed has been completed. And what a week it's been. Very interesting. Not what I thought, to be honest, but it's been alright. And I am now just starting my second week. And it's really weird to think that I am completely on my own now. It is a very strange feeling. It's almost like employed life, even though it was just 2 weeks ago. It feels like a distant memory. Really, really strange. But I'm going to walk you through my first week because it was a funny one. But it was busy. It was busy. But I'll be honest, the weather was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. Thursday, I went home at 1 o'clock. I did one job in the morning. It was a half a day job, 4 hours, and it was just absolutely horrible. The rain was running down my neck, down my back, down my crack. I can feel a song coming on now. It was running down my legs and filling up my wellies. It was that bad. It was that bad. It got to the point I was that wet, I'm just like, I'm going home. I jumped in the bath and called it a day. So Monday, let's start the week off. Monday I did 3 jobs, 3 regular maintenance jobs, 2-hour slots. Monday was alright, it was okay. The weather was alright. Tuesday, I had a big day Tuesday actually. I did a bit of work on my commercial contract. So I shot over there, did that, and I kind of ploughed through it actually. It didn't take me as long as I thought it would. So I was quite happy about that. That woman there is a legend. Just off topic. I'm just driving through the town and you've got a lollipop lady. And she sits there every morning and just waves at everyone going past. I just thought, how nice. How nice. Like, she's always got a smile on her face. Just waves at everybody going past. Really, really nice. Anyway, so Tuesday, I did one of the care homes. Came back to my local area and did 2 maintenance jobs. So that was a good day. Wednesday was a funny one because it was the first visit on a new customer. And I get there and this family is just next level. Really, really wealthy. They've got a 75 plate Rolls Royce black badge Spectre. And that car is probably worth, well, I looked it up because I was just very interested, £350,000. He's got a supercar as well on top of that in the garage under a cover. You know, top spec Brabus Defender, just, you know, nearly £1 million worth in cars, and I'm rocking up there looking like a bag of spanners in like my old tatty van. It's brilliant. But they still haven't paid the bill. I invoiced on Wednesday and they're still not paid, so it's interesting. I want to see how that one goes because I'm there every week, so I'm going back there Wednesday. But I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. I am using a new system. I'm using what's that? I've completely gone on my head. Just some accounting software, and I'm using that to send invoices. So that was the first invoice that I've sent. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Hopefully it's probably my fault. I've done something wrong and did not receive the invoice. But either way, they haven't paid. So, and then obviously Thursday was the horrible day, wet day. Friday was a good day. I did 2 kind of like hedge cuts in the morning, and then I did 2 quotes, and then that was it. That was the day. So overall, not a bad week, but a funny week. But I tell you what, I am struggling with the fitness. It is a huge shock to the body. because I've been sat in an office for 3 years, and all of a sudden coming back into gardening, it's been a big shock. And I get home and I am absolutely knackered. And then this week, again, very busy. I'm quite thankful, really, that the diary's filling up. I've had some good inquiries coming in. I had 2 inquiries this week, over the weekend, from my website, which is really good. And I built the website myself, so I'm well happy about that. So just getting organic leads from the website is fantastic. So really happy. One was for gutter cleaning that I'm going to do today, and another one is for regular garden maintenance. But again, it's like a big farm, so it's a good lead. So I try to be proactive. I try to contact people back as quickly as possible, because you've got to be quick if you want it. And there's a lot of people out there doing what we do, so you've got to be quick. But at the same time, I'm feeling good because I'm getting quite a lot of inquiries. My diary's full. This week I am quite busy, to be honest. Today's a big day, tomorrow's a big day. Wednesday, well, I've got that customer, but again, it's I've got another job after that. So I'm adding jobs on to what is already a full day. So I can't complain. So yeah, I just thought I'd do a little update. I am going to do a separate video on how I've done it, really, how I've built another gardening business so quickly. I'm going to do a separate video because, 6 months ago I could have used a video like that. I needed the help, but I kind of just cracked on and got on with it. So I'm going to do a video on how to do that, and it's different now. When I did it 3 years ago, 10 years ago when I set up, we didn't have the resources that we have now. AI, all the kind of marketing, social media just wasn't what it was 10 years ago, and now it's a different ball game. So I'm relearning. I'm trying my best to get with the times, but it's paying off. It's working. It really is. And I think if you're not with the times now, you're going to get left behind. You really will, because everybody's using AI to write advertisement posts. I used AI to build myself a website. Before I had a website, but it cost me £500 or £600 back in the day to have somebody build me a website. And now I've built a website myself and I'm getting inquiries, so it works. It's out there. But I'm going to go into all this in more detail, do a step-by-step guide on how to build your own service business, because I think it's important. I think the way the world is now, I think there's a lot more people who are going to be setting up their own businesses, coming away from employed life. There's this kind of trend on YouTube, isn't there, about quitting the 9 to 5 and being your own boss, being an entrepreneur, and all this kind of stuff. So I think it's very relevant. So I'm going to do that for anybody who's interested and is thinking about setting up, because I wish I had that there. And I'm sure there's videos out there, and I know there is, but at the time I just couldn't find them, or there wasn't videos that actually helped me or I found particularly interesting. So I'll do one of my own step-by-step guide and go from there. So I'm heading out to the first job of the day, regular maintenance slot, a couple of hours. Then I've got a garden tidy up, an initial visit before regular maintenance, and then to finish the day off I've got a gutter clean. But it's a fair size one. It's a 3-storey house, 3-storey farmhouse, so we'll see how that goes. So hopefully I'll try and get some footage today. We'll go from there. So see you soon, guys. Take it easy. So firstly, apologies, because I got some really good footage of shrub pruning, mowing, and I didn't realise at the very end what I actually did. When I thought I was turning this camera off, I actually turned it on. So I didn't record what I wanted to record, and I ended up having an hour and a half of just footage of my camera in my pocket. So absolutely rubbish. So I haven't got as much good footage as I wanted, but I'm just finishing off today, so not as good as I wanted it to be. It was going to be a really good day because I was going to finish off on a gutter clean. So I've done a regular maintenance visit this morning, gardening, and then I did a garden tidy up. So it's 3:30, so it's not bad. But I wanted to do this gutter clean, and it would have made it a really good day. But you know, when you get to a job and your gut's telling you not to touch it, alarm bells are going off, and I actually listened to myself. I'm quite proud of myself because this job paid £180. You know, it's a lot of money for potentially probably an hour's work. It's good, but it could have given me big problems, and I'll tell you why. So I rock up, the people seem really nice, no hassle with the customers, but it's an old farmhouse, like really old farmhouse, to the point where the old tile roof was overhanging the gutter, and it's one of those where it'd be an absolute pain. It's a 3-story building, really old guttering, that's like not even fixed properly, but the actual tiles are coming over the edge. You know, if it was a smaller property, I probably would have got the ladder up and do it, but because it was a 3-story property, really high ceiling property, there's no way I'm getting up there on the ladders, and I couldn't even run along it with the vacuum. That was the problem. So I could probably put like a thinner nozzle on, but if I just knock one tile off and that goes through the conservatory, anything like that, I am in big trouble. So I was honest with the customer and I said, listen, I don't want to cause any damage. I don't want to risk my insurance. I'm not able to do the job. So I'm sorry about that, but it is what it is. And they were actually really good, really understanding. Just recommended a friend of mine who's a builder and a roofer. I don't think he'll do it, but I've recommended someone. So there we go, guys. So the day's done. A nice day. The weather's been lovely, but I'm just a bit gutted about that gutter clean. But at the same time, I'm glad I didn't do it for obvious reasons. But let me know, what would have you done? If you're in that situation and you've got potential to earn, you know, that kind of money, do you have a go? Do you risk it, or do you just walk away? But that's it for now, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye for now.